Hi, this is Uber here. This is the was it week 3 already? I think it's the start of week 3, right? 2 weeks have passed, so this is the start of week 3, and I'd like to talk about the next build. I decided to play on Crucible League. So this is an Occultist. I haven't actually got my Uber Lab yet, so I'm only sitting on 6 ascendancy points. I'll probably get Varbastion, even though I have energy shield on for Eldritch Battery. I assume it applies that cannot be stunned while you have energy shield, so that means I should still be stun immune regardless, even though it's on EB. So this build is an ignite build. It's using totems, so it's a totem ignite build. Obviously totems are really strong this patch. You can't really go wrong with it. So I was figuring out a way to scale the damage on them, and then also I really wanted to make a fast clearing build, a zooming build per se. I have some. I mean, the build's great for what it does. I think the problem is I need to find a way of making it more tanky. So right now I am level 85. I haven't really pushed on levels yet, but in the next 10 levels I hope to probably make this a lot more tanky than what it is right now. 3.4k life is a little low, and I'm doing T16s on this, by the way. So not only T16s, I'm doing T16 the Val Temple setup. So some of the map mods I have to deal with are like really insane. Yeah, no doubt I am seeing a bit of rippiness in the maps, but because it zooms so fast, I'm still getting about 300 million EXP an hour, even with like 1 or 2 deaths per level. So I'm gonna briefly show you the build itself. Let me do a beach with no mods, and then you'll generally have a better idea of how this build works. So the core mechanic of this build is I'm using the fulcrum. So a fulcrum, this is probably one of a kind. I don't think there's a similar weapon on the server right now. So this is a fulcrum with the following passive tree. It has reduced totem life and 600% of totem life as physical damage. Obviously this is insane. I think if you haven't been sleeping under a rock, you would have known this. This one also has exposure, although in this case it doesn't really apply here, mainly because I'm using Black Flame. But this also means that if I really wanted to make a totem hit based build, this would also be amazing for it. I might consider doing that, but for now I'm just gonna leave it as it is. So yeah, so this is a self-chill, self-ignite build with the following passives. I can't remember where it was. Oh I really need a protection mastery, come to think of it. Wait, this is amazing. Holy shit. Area effector aura skills, effect of non-cursed auras. Huh. Well, that's not that amazing, but whatever. It's caster mastery, minion defense, recovery mastery. Huh. Anyway, I probably need this, to be honest. Non-damaging elements cannot be inflicted on you while you already have one, and non-damaging elements cannot be inflicted on you while you already have one. So I'll probably have to look for another area to get this. Protection mastery. Maybe here. No, I can't because it reduces effect of chill. Okay, whatever. I'll have to look for another location for it because this is kind of crucial. But yeah, so this is a self-chill, self-ignite build. And I'll just show you. Holy crap, why am I just talking so much? so how fast it clears maps. You can imagine that's kind of why I get so much EXP. But yeah, so next thing I'll do is probably do the overlap and then figure out how to scale defenses. I'm going to briefly talk about the build mechanics. So yeah, the fulcrum basically allows me, this is actually a really well rolled fulcrum, by the way. I bought this off another guy who, I think he heard about the build. I was talking to him about it. I think he decided not to go on ahead with it. This build originally planned to do something with Tainted Pact, but I couldn't get the Tainted Pact mechanic to work, so I didn't use it. But this is like his fulcrum, and he sold it to me for 10 divs. I tried making my own, but I never really got a decent one. I got one that had 400 totem life, which I think was kind of meh. So he had one that has 600 totem life, and the only mod that you really care about here is the physical damage as extra damage of random element while you're ignited, because the rest don't really apply to you. For what was it called again? For ignite, yeah. So physical damage as extra damage of random element is super good because it basically means 40% more damage for your physical damage of your totem explosions. Okay, so this is an interesting thing, right? So why can I do pretty significant amount of damage on this build, even though this is kind of a 4 link, but it's also because, so the total life, only way it really scales is through max levels. Obviously max levels 30 would be the most ideal, but in this case I can only get up to +7, so it will be 27 when I hit level 20 on the totem. I can obviously buy a level 21 totem gem as well, so that gives me even more damage. I might do that actually, but the other reason why this build scales quite significantly is Light Poacher. So Light Poacher basically gives you 5% of physical damage as extra damage of each element per spirit charge. So that's 15% physical as extra per spirit charge. And so I'm stacking about 17 spirit charges. So 17 spirit charges multiplied by 15% more damage, that is a 255% more damage, right? Including this, that is 295 more damage. So you're doing about 395% damage with ignites at max spirit charges essentially, right? So that's almost a 4 times multiplier on the DPS for ignite. And then because you'll be scaling Abyss Jewels, you have 2 Abyss Jewel sockets for the helm. You're going Replica Shroud Lightness, which is pretty cheap by the way, for the 6 jewel sockets, and then Darkness and Throne Stygian Vice for another 2 sockets. It would be nice if I could run the boots as well, Bubonic Trail. Unfortunately, I couldn't find a way to solve the ignite issues. So what I planned to do was, because Black Flame turns fire ignite into chaos damage, I wanted to use Tainted Pact here in my amulet slot. And with Tainted Pact, what would happen is the ignites that you take will end up becoming heals, right? So you get healed by an insane amount, because let's say you're doing like 20-30 million DPS on your ignite, you're getting a 20-30 million heal essentially for yourself. But the reason why it didn't really work out is because for Tainted Pact to work, you needed to leech constantly, and there's never a situation where you have a reliable leech overlap, right? So your leech overlapping with essentially overlapping with your ignite is the problem, right? I am thinking of solving this soon, and that would be to use the writhing jars. Maybe I might have to use more writhing jars. Basically, writhing jars will help me to keep my leech up because I will be hitting them. The problem is the damage on hits for this build is in a sense is delayed, right? You are relying on your totems to activate. When your totem is activating, you kill the worms or whatever, and that's how you get leech. So that's the problem I'm facing right now with this build, with that formulation. But I will try my best to solve it. Hopefully I have a solution for this by the end of next week, by the end of this week, sorry. So I'm using this boot in the meantime. This boot makes me unaffected by ignite. That means that I don't take any of the damage of the ignite that I am currently carrying on me, but because I self-ignite for a pretty insane amount of damage, and then I'm unaffected by it, I'm basically a carrier for the ignite, right? The ignite is on me, and as I run around, and it will pro-lift to other mobs. So what I have here is obviously a cluster jewel that has Fan the Flames. Fan the Flames ignites you, inflict, spread to other enemies within a radius of 15. I assume this gives pro-lift, but I'm not too sure. It may or may not. Come to think of it, I'm actually not sure. Is it Ignite Prolif that the one that gives it? Anyway. I'm pretty sure it's the same, right? I'm pretty sure it's the same. So, totems unfortunately are treated as damage you inflict, so you can leech off it. Likely you also get reflect off it, so you can't do reflect maps, but you should be able to. Yeah, well, you saw what I did earlier with regard to the mapping and how fast it was. You know, so that's generally generally how the build works. I will obviously try to level this more and try to figure out a better way of scaling defenses, but I think damage as it is okay. It's not too bad. Maybe about it will probably hit about, I think, 20 mil pinnacles cap when I fully scaled it. Yeah. All right, hope you enjoyed this video. I'm gonna shut this off. I will post whenever I feel I've got anything interesting, or yeah, my main plan is to run Baal Temples on this, and after running Baal Temples on this, I'll make another build. I don't think this build can do any of the Ubers. So I have another build idea plan, which is Hatred scaling on a Volcanic Molten Strike, not Volcanic Strike, a Vaal Molten Strike build. We'll see how that goes. Alright, see you guys, peace, hope you enjoyed this, and bye.